I flew down to my son's place without giving him a heads up and found my daughter-in-law dying alone in the ICU. Meanwhile, my son was cruising around town with some girls in the car I had bought him. I silently called the police and reported the car stolen. 2 days later, when they released him, he crawled back to me on his knees, only to find out I had signed everything over to his wife. Greetings, dear friends. Before I open the doors to my life and share this difficult story with you, I want to ask for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It helps stories like this be heard. And drop a comment letting me know which state or city you're listening from. It would warm my heart to know how far my voice has traveled. Get comfortable. Happy listening. The airport greeted me with hustle, the smell of roasted coffee, and the weight of other people's expectations. But I didn't feel the joy of reunion that usually embraces mothers flying in to see their children. Inside, beneath my ribs, a heavy icy knot of anxiety twisted. That feeling, sharp and unrelenting, forced me, a disciplined woman used to planning everything weeks in advance, to drop everything, buy a ticket for the next flight, and fly halfway across the country without a word of warning. In the tote bag slung over my shoulder were 2 glass jars of homemade elderberry preserves, dark, tart, and healing, the kind my son Sterling loved as a child back in Chicago. Next to them was a soft plush teddy bear. Foolish, perhaps. Vada, my daughter-in-law, wasn't pregnant as far as I knew. But in our last conversation, her voice had sounded so thin, so fractured, that I just wanted to bring her something warm, something comforting, something childlike. The phone in my coat pocket stayed silent. I had been calling Sterling for 3 days straight. No answer. Vada had dropped off the radar a week ago. You can't fool a mother's heart. I always thought that was just poetry, until fear proved it true. The Uber took me to their neighborhood. The building I saw through the window looked solid, historic, secure. I had bought this condo for them 3 years ago after the wedding. I wanted them to have a head start, a life without counting pennies. I thought brick and money could guarantee happiness. I was wrong. The apartment door was ajar, just enough to notice. Inside, the smell hit me first: stale smoke, sour alcohol, neglect. Boots were scattered in the hallway, dishes piled high. Unpaid bills sat unopened. And there, gathering dust, was a sealed box of heart medication prescribed to Vada months ago. Untouched. A neighbor appeared, an elderly woman in a faded robe. "The ambulance took her," she said, 2 or 3 days ago. The world tilted. City General Hospital. ICU, pneumonia, dehydration, starvation, fever untreated for days. The doctor spoke calmly, but each word crushed me. Then I saw him, Sterling, laughing, music blasting. 2 women hanging out the windows of the luxury SUV I had bought him. He drove right past the hospital, didn't even look. Minutes later, a text arrived. "Hey Ma, I'm at the hospital with Vada. Haven't left her side. Pray for us." Something inside me snapped. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt clarity. I reported the car stolen. When the officer called to confirm, I said my son was inside the ICU praying by his wife's bedside. The man they detained was a liar. Then I called my lawyer. By morning, the condo was transferred entirely into Vada's name. The car, sold. Every dollar sent to her medical care. Sterling sat in jail calling me nonstop. I didn't answer. I found Vada's diary. Page after page of fear, financial abuse, emotional terror, lies, pawned jewelry, cold winters, hunger, silence. When she finally woke from the coma, she squeezed my hand and whispered, "Don't let him in." I didn't. I hired private security, changed the locks, filed my will. Sterling came to the hospital furious, then desperate, then begging on his knees. He cried, lied, threatened. When that didn't work, he cursed me. I stood firm. The apartment wasn't his. The car was gone. The money was gone. The inheritance, donated to an animal shelter. He left with nothing. I stayed with Vada. Because sometimes love means choosing justice over blood.